So one, you can interpret, I think, psychedelic experiences in terms of metaphysics. And my general proposal at the moment, for which I'm writing a new book slowly, is that, and there's an article about it, is that you can potentially use metaphysics to frame psychedelic experiences in psychedelic therapy. So, in psychedelic therapy, generally today you have three phases. You have the preparatory phase, you get to know the therapists, usually two, male, female, and then the drug session, of course, whatever it may be, psilocybin, LSD, DMT, whatever, 5-MeO. And then thirdly, you have the integrative phase where you, therapists try to, integrate that experience into the person's life, into the people's lives. But I was thinking that, philosophy, you could probably as an additional tool for integration, so not to replace it, but as an additional tool, you could bring in metaphysics. So if people think, for example, they've experienced nature to be God or the divine, I mean, you can then bring in classic views on pantheism, like Spinoza again, or many other thinkers. And, obviously not at an academic level, but on a sort of basic level, say, what you've experienced is not just some hallucination that's totally crazy, but actually has the backing of thousands of years of thought. And so the idea is that might make the experience, it will give it a name. It will make it, therefore, more significant to the person. And I think it might stop the person from dismissing it after, a few weeks after the session, saying, like at the time I had this amazing experience that the universe is conscious, maybe, or something like that. But obviously that must be rubbish, because as you return into your culture, there's an underlying metaphysics to every culture, like an underlying religion in many ways. But it's more hidden because people are just not conscious of metaphysics for the last 100 years, really, in the West. So it's kind of I think this kind of integration makes you question that metaphysics you return to in your culture, whatever it may be, and gives it credence, gives it more significance and more value. Anyway, this is the idea that I'm kind of working on. So it's a kind of practical application of philosophy, because people always complain that philosophers are, in their high tower, completely irrelevant to society, thinking about, this or that. But I think here's an example where you can actually put it to use.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.